Alright, everyone. The castle here. A little sleep deprived. About to explain some stuff. Um, so I got Borderlands 3. And, yeah. It's really fucking good. And, I'm lacking a lot of sleep at the moment. And I'm probably going to be playing it a lot more tonight as well. Um, I'll do my best to make sure that it doesn't cut in too much into my actual work time and everything like that. But the amount of stuff that I'm kind of learning from my experience playing something like Borderlands 3, um, makes it worth it anyway. One of the main issues that we are running into with the game is that it has a four-player limit. But I'm wondering if the four-player limit is just like a sanity thing, because of how hard it is to balance for like 8 different players. A lot of other stuff starts to come up too when I'm thinking about how Borderlands 3 is set up. But the game is superb. As far as I can tell right now, it's I'm enjoying it more than I enjoyed Borderlands 1 and 2 combined and then some. I mean, this thing's like on another level. So I managed to get some more meshes in place, a little bit more in terms of all this different kinds of stuff I need to get in. I'm basically right now I'm just going to be doing, I'm just doing a long art pass where I'm just adding new art assets and getting more stuff in place. So, one of the things that I just added is like a trim for the edges of different places. So like you'll see like a little trim piece that can be used to accentuate certain pathways and stuff like that. Um, and I added larger pipes, and I'm probably going to add an even bigger pipe than this. So there's some pretty crazy pipe pieces now that are already available and everything like that. Now I've also kind of just been working on this outside area out here to kind of get an idea of what the larger outdoor areas will be like and stuff like that, and kind of have give it a shot at having a decently sized open area. This is more open than pretty much any of the areas in the first Revulsion up to this point, right? So yeah, this is pretty significantly different. It's a lot more. There's a lot more space here, that's for sure. You can see the trim pieces were used on this edge thingy here to give it a little bit more. I guess yeah, kind of just makes it seem a little bit more like you just place it. Now these edge pieces can be used in the ceiling as well. So if like for example, yeah, actually let me go ahead and just do it so I can show you. I like having like a little edge piece thingy like that. So you see how it's on the floor here, right? But if you raise it up to here, you'll notice that it also acts as a trim um, for the ceiling. So you can add like you can add a trim like that to the up there. Now the visuals are definitely coming together, or at least it's getting to a point right now where you can definitely see what I had in mind with with the art style, the visuals, and everything like that. And it's pretty crazy that it's something that I've been I've devised completely on my own. Um, it just needs more. That's it, really. That's all that's happening here. Is it's just going to be a slog to get more of this in place. That's it. I just need more textures. I need more meshes. And then I need to make sure that the data table is being updated properly with all of the new additions, and that's really the extent of it. Now, with that said, like, how exactly do I want the flow to be? My thinking is that essentially the way Revulsion 2's flow will work is that it'll kind of end up being sort of the same thing as before, as except the one difference is that there's no sanctuary when you fast travel. Your sanctuary is actually your fort. So there are these locations in the world where you go, and those are your fort. and basically you run up to a platform and you spawn your fort there or something along those lines, right? And only the server can spawn the fort, I think, unless I mean, I could probably have the client tell the server what to spawn or something like that, so other people can spawn their forts. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. To I don't know. I don't know. It's possible that can work though. But um, yeah. So that's basic. That's the basic premise. But I'm wondering, like, I mean, um, when I play a game like Borderlands right now, it's so good that it's making me wonder, like, am I just competing? Am I going to be directly competing with them? Like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, it's so close to what I'm trying to do already. I guess the difference is that my game would be worth like 1/5 the price right out of the gate, you know. And my game has a multiplayer level editor where people can collaborate and build levels together. I mean, a lot of the same things that have been true for Revulsion 1 are still true for Revulsion 2. Although I could go further in the direction of doing the sort of open world survival type stuff, which is something that I've been kind of craving to do anyway. What if I go further in that direction and just totally embrace it and just go full out open world survival or something along those lines. I don't know. I should probably stick to my guns though, and just literally, uh, and just do what I've been having in mind, and that is to kind of try and keep things fairly similar to what they were before. The main difference being is that the levels are more open and large, and that instead of a sanctuary, you build your own sanctuary. Uh, you know, on the fort locations. And it's basically a big flat platform. That's kind of what I've already envisioned. So I imagine like I haven't built anything like that. I haven't done any examples of it yet, but it is basically just a hierarchical instance. You basically build a prefab of your fort, but player-made forts are built off of just by placing blocks, using simpler assets and stuff like that. So you end up with sort of like a kind of a Minecrafty like block building thing where the blocks are very stringent. Like you can only place them on 90-degree angles and stuff like that. But you place these blocks down, and then you have a bunch of different types of blocks that you can place, and that's essentially it. So it's like building a Minecraft house. Like literally, it's very dumbed down compared to the actual level design tool. Um, but once you do that, like you can build a fort that way, and that could be kind of interesting. And I can make different size locations and stuff like that, but that's probably not a good idea because um, I think every fort location should probably be pretty universal. That way, you can teleport your fort around whenever you reach a new fort location. So it's essentially like finding a new sanctuary in a different location, and then you just sort of bounce back and forth between maps. Maybe I will be limited to having like four-player co-op or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's all still very much up in the air. But my idea um, is that I want to make the multiplayer aspect as seamless as possible and as continuous as possible, where you don't run into the limit of having to start up a different game, a different SKU, where you have to deal with like we have a fifth person who wants to play with us, and you can't because uh, like there's just no room in the group or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I would really rather just have something that's sort of open ended where all like 8 or 9 people can be running around on the same server at the same time, which means that the maps probably need to be a lot larger and there needs to be a lot more to do in them, and the fort building aspect probably needs to be a lot more interesting or intricate. I don't know. Um, Maybe it's too ambitious to do that. Maybe I should just, stick to what I know. Um, I don't know. With that said, though, like I'm still just thinking out loud at this point in time. A lot of what I'm doing at this point is literally just getting Death Spiral's gameplay in place and everything like that, right? Maybe I can experiment with the idea of making it so that in Revulsion 1 you can make use of the fort locations, but you already have a sanctuary in Revulsion 1, so it's kind of redundant. It's not going to be necessary. There's going to be a certain point where I'm just going to have to start, breaking off and getting ready to try and put together, this project as its own thing so that I can continue working on another game. Like, if I do go the one thing that is neat, if I do go the full open world survival route, I can it doesn't discount the fact that Revulsion 1 already exists. Like, if Revulsion 2 is the exact same game but better, why would I even leave Revulsion 1 up on the market? You know what I mean? But if I make a different kind of game, then and maybe even maybe even give it a different name and everything like that. Maybe it's not Revulsion the second time around. Um, then then I can then it's like I have two different games, and both of them have a reason to exist. It's more of a complementary thing. I don't know. One thing's for sure is that I don't have infinite time, so it's not like I can just be like, working on just making another map pack for Revulsion forever. So there's that. But yeah, Death Spiral will have two texture sets already built for it. Yeah, so I'll have the castle set over here. So this is more of a castle-y structure, like over here as well, right? And then, yeah, and then there's a way to go down this over here, which can take you to another area. But then there's like three different ways to go into this other area, which is kind of weird, actually. But it works fine. Like, you can totally do it this way, where you can have like multiple entrances into the same area and stuff. It's kind of interesting, actually. No matter which direction you choose, like, you'll end up entering the next map from a different direction. The current system I have in place right now, I can do these sort of like big open-ended levels where you're just sort of traveling around, sort of searching where to go next and stuff like that. It's actually not that outlandish. It could totally happen. It could totally work. Where there's three entrances into another map over here, or maybe not even make it another map. This could just be another area out here. I mean, I need to stress test this a little bit more. I mean, if I'm not already hitting some kind of a limitation at this point in time, then damn. um, yeah. All right. So with that said, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep pushing forward with the new art assets and everything like that, and I might even release a video of me just having fun playing Revulsion. I mean Borderlands 3. Uh, tomorrow or something like that, because I'm gonna be playing it a lot tonight, and I'm gonna try and force myself to at least get a couple of assets done every day. Um, for this, which means that I'll end up being in a pretty good spot by the end of the month, and really like in good shape to be able to get a new mission in place for mid-October on Revulsion 1 with all assets all arted out, all ready to go with with crafted gameplay and everything like that. So we should be in pretty good shape for that. And from there, I could probably do a couple an additional mission or two pretty quickly. And then after that, I guess I'm gonna have to start thinking about yeah, branching the projects off. So I want things to happen quickly enough. Like I'm still working on the a lot of the core stuff for the level editor and everything like that. But I don't know. What would you guys rather play? Like see more of an open world survival kind of Fallout 4 kind of thing going on, where it's paced a little bit differently and more like open ended with much larger maps with no limit on how many people you can play. Like like a much higher limit on the number of people that can be playing with you, like 16 player server or something like that. Or stick a little bit more to like the Borderlands thing, except for no sanctuary. You build your own fort, which is a lot closer to what Revulsion 1 is, uh, except there's no sanctuary. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I could see both working. The only thing is that I know how Revulsion 1 already works, so there's less risk there. Like if I just stick to that, if I just stick to what I already know how to make, then I should be in pretty good shape. Even though it ends up being a lot closer to Borderlands than I think I want. I don't know if I want to be on competing directly with Borderlands 3, but maybe there's room for something like this in that kind of in this kind of a space right now. All right, well, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this now. Sorry, I'm just kind of rambling at this point in time. I am exhausted, but I'm probably gonna play the shit out of Borderlands 3 tonight, and I'll have another video just showing me playing. Uh, but yeah, all right, take it easy.